Hello everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you so much for joining me and welcome to this video where I'm going to run through my record collection. So I actually just bought this Crossley record holder. I'm going to talk a little bit about that and then get into the records because it was kind of fun pulling them all out. You guys know I just moved, so everything had been boxed up. Of course, it was in different order and whatever it needed to be for them to move it. But I've gotten it back in alphabetical order now, and there was a lot of records within there that I was really sort of excited to see again, kind of a thing, and I want to run through some of that with you. So stick around for that, but before we get started, if you're new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please click the button. Also leave a comment, hit like, all those things help support my channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. And of course, as an added bonus, by subscribing, you'll be able to stay up to date on all that's going on in the world of music, just like this, with us going through my record collection here. So I'm going to change scenes real quick here so I can get this thing down and actually go through it, but I wanted you to see it at the beginning of it, so we'll be back in just a second. All right, so we're in a different view here, but that's so that you guys can see the records as I kind of thumb through them, sort of a thing. So right off the bat, you see that I've got some Angel here, Sinful. We all love that band, great band. This was one that I was sort of excited to see, my Carmine Appice album. I think this one's called Rocker, if I'm not mistaken, but unfortunately my spine is gone on it, and it doesn't say, oh, actually it does, it says right there, Rockers, right across there. So really good one, I like that. Here's another one that I was excited about, my Angel City Frontal Assault. I think this was their second album, I'm not entirely sure, but they expanded at that point from the trio, adding their vocalist and so forth. So things were becoming a little different and they would revert back later. We've got Alias here, which is a band that was formed after Lynyrd Skynyrd plane crash. So this has a couple of the band members in it. We've got JoJo Billingsley and Leon Wilkinson. Billy Powell is in here, Artemis Pyle. So cool band there with all of that. Of course, we've got some acts in here. We like them. Actually got 3 acts in here. Here's another. And then we've got that one, Nemesis, great one there. I like the debut best, kind of a thing. Artemis Pyle Band, wish these would get reissued on CD. I've got both of these. They often just go by the APB, but Nightcrawler. Very much like the Rosington Collins Band, female-fronted band. I think, male does sing on both of those. Aviator, really good stuff here. Got this now on CD from Rock Candy Records, but this one here, really good stuff. Would recommend if you don't have it, find that. One that I just tried, Americade, didn't do much for me, but I got that in here. Atom Bomb, which is cool. You can see written here, it's got Jimmy Crespo, formerly of Aerosmith. That's why I was interested in it. 8440 is a cool one here because we got Thomas Laverty from 21 Guns. So that was what drew me to this. I think that's also available now. You can buy it on CD. Black Sheep, which this would get a formal reissue. This one here's got Lou Gramm in it, who would of course go on to Foreigner. I've got bootleg versions of it on CD that are really high quality. I've shown you guys those in the past. The Brood, I believe this is somewhat related to Emery Smith. We've got here on drums from, I believe it was Suicidal Tendencies that he came from. Marty Balin, got a couple of his albums, of course, coming from Jefferson Airplane and Starship. Got a Beach Boys album, which I since have replaced on CD. Blue Angel, we got early Cyndi Lauper in there. This is a cool one here, Blackjack, that has, I believe we got Bob Kulick in this one and his brother, but it doesn't immediately say. Let's see. Oh, there we go. We got Michael Bolton on vocals. That's part of it. And yes, Bruce Kulick on guitar. And we got Jimmy Halsip on bass. So cool. Yeah, that's a great one. But I just like how this one opens at the top. It pulls out. So it actually opens up like a deck of cards. Got a Glenn Burtnick in there. Of course, he was part of Styx for a while. The Boys is a cool one. Too Wild to Tame. That's out on CD now. Some of these have been out on CD and, of course, are out of print again, but you can still find them. Tony Carey from Rainbow and a bunch of other stuff. CJSS, see if I can get the names. Chastain, David Chastain is part of it. That was the real reason I was into CJSS. This one's a good one. Dirty Angels. So this one here has David Hall, who's in the group, and the song Buzz Buzz. Sorry, I'm not holding that one quite right for you guys. Buzz Buzz, which is in here, that would later turn up on the Joe Perry Project albums when he was part of it. We got Dead Ringer, part of the new wave of British heavy metal. A couple of Roger Daltrys in here. He did the soundtrack for McVicker. Then I got some Devo stuff that's in here that's from the Record Store Day. Another one here, Alive in 1981, Seattle. Easy-O, great Japanese metal band from the 80s. Export has the guitar player in it. Let's see, Steve Morris, but not the same one that's in, and oftentimes people misunderstand Morse and Morris. And we've got Steve Morris here, but he did play with Ian Gillan, so related to Deep Purple in that way. Ellen Foley, Night Out, my favorite one by her, but I've also got the Ellen Foley, Spirit of St. Louis. Then I've got some Firefall in here. Elaine, which is a really good album, and I've got a best of in here. That's related to Dave Muse, who I actually knew, who was went to my church when I was growing up, was part of a contemporary band that would play, so I got to know him. So that's how I got into Firefall. Fools are an interesting band. Got another Record Store Day, Foo Fighters, medium rare on vinyl. That has a CD reissue too. Fahrenheit, where we've got, let's see, we got the two guys, they changed their names. There's Charlie Farron and David Height, but I believe David Height was David Hall, changing his name for that. Green River, the 1984 demos, again, Record Store Day release. Gene Loves Jezebel, Discover, great album. A Dave Gahan Hourglass remixes. This was only available on vinyl, so I got that. This one here, love it. Herman's a German drummer, Herman Rarebell, with a lot of cool guests, like Jack Russell of Great White is on there. The Hellcats, guitarist for the Hellcats, formed this band after Stars. Wish that would get a CD reissue. Jan Hammer's band, simply called Hammer, Black Sheep. Hologram, like this. So Hologram is the same as the new wave of British heavy metal band Holocaust, but some members changed, so they changed their name to Hologram. Really like that. We've got Iron Horse in here, which has Randy Bachman from Bachman Turner Overdrive. Tom Johnston, who would, or is of course part of, Doobie Brothers. Sorry, spaced on that for just a moment. Brian Johnson solo album, which really is compiled from Geordie material. But there's the backside of it, doesn't really show much. But that's just a good one because they remixed the tracks so it became more present day sort of stuff. Jefferson Airplane, Flight Log, like this when it gathers up solo and side projects. Paul Kantner, Rock and Roll Orchestra. Again, not available on CD. I like his stuff. Lion, Dangerous Attraction. This one has been reissued by Rock Candy Records, so you can get that one now. But this one has... we got Doug Aldridge in here. Cal Swan is part of this. Mark Edwards on drums. I mean, all these guys have played in different places, but I was picking it up for Doug Aldridge. All right, and then we've got London, Nonstop Rock. This one here, we've got, they're not saying their names on it, but these guys have made up from different bands. Of course, Nikki Sixx was part of this band early on, but I do really like what that band has done, and they've gone through a number of name changes too over the years. Leatherwolf, I think this is just their self-titled album, which I saw just recently got a CD reissue on the Universal Japan line that I've talked about. We've got a Ray Manzarek solo album. The whole thing started with rock and roll, now it's out of control. Love that title. Good stuff, about the closest thing to Doors sounding material that he ever did. Brian May and Friends. I think we've got Eddie Van Halen on that one. Got a Montrose here, Territory. Montrose Mean, just simply an M on this one. This has Johnny Edwards singing, so that's why I was interested. Of course, he sang for Foreigner. Mean Streak, Roadkill, all-female thrash band. Really cool stuff. See if I can get the whole thing in there for you. So we're kind of getting to the end of this. I'm going to pull this forward a bit and back a bit so I can maybe get these in just a bit better for you. All right, we've got Jimmy Mack, who sang with Earl Slick in different projects. Here's that Dave Muse album that I was talking about. Fantasies of Love, self-released album. Got the Mama Boys, Growing Up the Hard Way. Got another Record Store Day, Nirvana, Hormoning. Night City. Okay, this one here is another one that's the project by Ray Manzarek. This is also really good stuff. The first album, at least. Second album, not so much. Got a New York Dolls in here. Actress, Birth of the New York Dolls, so it's got some demos and things of that nature on it. Another Record Store Day release. Kiss My Amps Live, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Really cool tour album from 2010, the Mojo Tour. We've got One Drop, a release from Pill, Public Image Limited. So I got all kinds of stuff in this. I love my record collection. Payolas. So this has, it's produced by Mick Ronson. That's one of the cool things here. But we've got Bob Rock as part of this, and that's why I was checking it out. But this was one of his Canadian groups. I got another one in here. Powerhouse, absolutely excellent. We were talking about Geordie earlier. This is what Geordie became after Brian Johnson left. Got another Japanese record here, band, group called Presence, Bleecker Street. And then R.E.M., their first EP called Chronic Town, reissued for Record Store Day. Here's the other Bob Rock release, Rock and Hide, called Dirty Water, that I've got. Rough Cut debut album. Group called Rail, Arrival, just some good late 70s rock and roll. Roadmaster, another one of those bands. Roadmaster is out on Rock Candy. Iggy and the Stooges, live at ATP 2010. That's a Record Store Day. Van Stevenson. Picked this up because we've got, besides him, Alan Pasqua is in here, Mike Baird, and Dan Huff. So all these guys have done different projects and things, and guys from Giant in there. So Grace Slick's Software. I like that solo album, very sort of spacey sounding. And then Welcome to the Wrecking Ball, another great one from her. But I've also got Dreams, which is absolutely epic. The first track on here, which I believe is written by Jim Steinman, fantastic piece there. Earl Slick and Slick Band. So this one here is the one that I believe, it's got Jimmy Mack on lead vocals. So good stuff. We got Sonic Youth. This is a tour edition album by them. This was a Record Store Day release. Small Faces, 78 in the Shade. Good album by them. Stone Fury, Let Them Talk. We've got who would go on to be part of Lenny Wolf, who would go on to be part of, or not part of, he formed Kingdom Come. Scream, No More Censorship. This is a band, this album in particular, had Foo Fighters main frontman in there, Nirvana drummer. Why am I spacing on his name? Dave Grohl. I'm so sorry. All right, Starfighters. This is a cool one too. This is related to AC/DC. It's got Simon in the band, Stevie Young in the band, who is the nephew to Angus Young, who's now in AC/DC. So pretty cool. Sweet Pain. We've got some connection here. Let's see who if it doesn't say right on the back. One of these guys would go on to like a band like Faster Pussycat or something like that. But good stuff there, and look that up. Seduce. These guys were in the Decline of Western Civilization Part 2, so I picked it up for that reason. Andy Taylor, Thunder, fantastic solo album from the former Duran Duran guy. Television. So this one here is Live at the Waldorf, 1978. So this is a Record Store Day double vinyl. Thor. Mutant. This one came with a CD, so that's why I picked up the vinyl version of it to get that as well. Got a Mickey Thomas here, of course, from Starship. This one here is As Long As You Love Me. But this album, next album, Alive Alone by Mickey Thomas, is far better in my opinion. Also been reissued by Wounded Bird, so I got that on CD. U2, Wide Awake in Europe. They had Wide Awake in America, so they put this out, this EP, and that was a Record Store Day exclusive. And then we've got Wurzel. So the album's simply called Best. It's an EP. Wurzel was part of Motorhead. That's so good. I wish that would be reissued too. We got Wildfire. One of the original vocalists, Paul Mario Day, who used to sing for Iron Maiden before they got started. Zodiac Mind Warp. And we've got a compilation, US Metal Volume 2, with all kinds of bands. It's a shrapnel-related thing. And there you go. I don't know if that's, 30 to 50 records right there. Let me adjust the camera and get back in view here, and we'll close this thing up. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun for me, just going through it and seeing everything that I had in there. And I know a lot of you guys ask about my record collection. That's not the whole thing, but that's a big chunk of it. I've got probably enough to fill another bin like this, so I might have to get a second one here. But just starting with this is sort of my favorite, the creme de la creme stuff that I really enjoy and pull out. So do have a vinyl collection beyond just CDs, and I've got even a small cassette collection still. So really do have a lot of different musical things, but a lot of what I have, and I do, have some duplicate stuff that I've got on CD within there now, but I was picking up the vinyl when it wasn't available on CD. So that's usually how I decide to buy vinyl. If it's only available that way, I pick it up, I enjoy it that way. But as you guys know, I have an 11,000 CD collection. I am a CD person, will always prefer CD. So it just happens to be the way that it is. But I do hope you enjoyed going through that version or that way of my vinyl collection, and maybe that sparks some interest in you and you got some new ideas to go out and search some stuff. So all right, everyone, take care, have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all real soon. Bye bye, everyone.